Welcome back to the show. Now we're getting into our music reviews, and to start off with our first one with Russ's Santiago. In his latest project, it really takes the listener on a voyage across his emotional landscape with further rapping and singing. It reflects on moments of defeat, resilience, and frustration. And this is interesting because Russ he obviously has released a lot of music recently. Had a Chomp Two was probably like one of our favorites that that
It's
that
but
he
yeah.
that he made like just this full rap, and he was just in his zone. But what did you think about this? Because there was a lot of diversity in it, a
Yeah.
lot of singing. I feel like he's just in our artistic vein of like wanting to just experiment with different things. And I thought there were some really good songs on this. But what did you think about this project? And just how you put it together.
I thought it was okay. The intro kind of didn't I mean, I love the intro. I think it started off well, but then it went into a range that I didn't think he was gonna go into. I mean, obviously we know Russ came on the scene because he was singing, rapping, and
Yeah,
harp melody type
mixing it up.
rapping. I thought it was going to be a mixture of the two. He gave us some bars here and there, but it was more of melodic feel, melodic rap, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't nothing spectacular. I think I like three or four songs on here that got saved into the library. It was okay.
I'm not
I
gonna like
was
run back to it. It's
Yeah,
not a project
no.
I'm just gonna run back to as much.
Chomp was more of I like that feel
So
because
perfect. 15
yeah,
songs.
it was
Like
nice. Bars were there, melody, he still used the melodies obviously for the hook,
yeah.
but just for verse prayer, he was just straight bars, straight heavy, straight lyrical, just all around great project. But this one, that was okay. Like you said, I'm not gonna run back to it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like looking because he's always preached like independence for artists to be independent, going their own route. What do you
Mhm.
think the future looks like for him? Like what do you think he's wanting to kind of get out of some of his like future endeavors and future projects?
I think he's in the pocket. I think he's everything he's got from the industry. I think that's where it's going to be. I don't think he's going to be this big time name. Everybody knows who Russ is
Yeah,
because one, he's an independent guy. He's a producer, songwriter. He goes around the spectrum of music, and then he solidified a pattern to how to drop music as an
yeah,
independent artist. So I
almost a
think
weekly.
yeah, I think he's borderline legend when it comes to navigating through the music,
Yeah,
and I think he's solidified himself as I think I'll call him a B-lister when it comes to rap, and music. He's not an A-lister. He's definitely not a C-lister. I think he's in the cusp of a B-lister. But I think legend of how to navigate through as it being independent, being a producer, mixing and mastering your own stuff, knowing what to do in business deals. So I think in that respect, he's a legend. But in with the rap, just being just purity of the music, I think he's a B-lister. I think
definitely.
that's what
He's
he is.
blazed a path, but he's just not
Yeah,
one of those like. I mean, people are going to know Russ. It's like you're not going to be looked at crazy. It's like, hey, you're Russ's new song. They're not going to look at you crazy, but he's still not just like that undeniable like worldwide star.
no, he's not there yet, and I
Definitely.
don't think he ever will be.
And I'll get into our next review with Raheem's. But if I'm honest, in his second album, Raheem explores his placement of love and reevaluates his dependencies. There's also a production from Division 1985, Vinyls, Yogi, Luca, and more. And this is there have been some like we said there haven't been as many solid R&B projects this year. I thought this was a good project. There were a couple misses to me, but overall, I think the direction was he knew what he wanted his direction to sound like, and I think he
Yeah,
did a good job of it.
you thought it was some misses?
Just maybe one or two. It was me being picky. It wasn't like it wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
no,
just being
no,
picky.
I agree though. I agree. I'm a fan of Raheem, and he, I think he could have added in a more of the up tempo R&B,
Yeah,
like
it's almost
the
too mellow.
too mellow, too low tone. I mean, I love that. It remind me of like obviously Division because that's who he worked with and
Yeah,
he
it's gonna sound
wrote
like that.
for. And then some a little party, but even with Party Next Door, he gives us the up tempo. He gives us a range of music, and I mean, obviously, you can Party is a rapper slash R&B. You can put him in so many categories, but I did think he missed opportunities when it comes to song selection. I enjoyed the project. Don't get me wrong. I think it was a real good project.
Yeah,
It got saved. I'll go
for
back and
sure.
listen to it and just play it. But I do think he missed a couple opportunities. I mean, this is his second full ensemble album. So I mean, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is like a taster, like, hey, this is what I can do.
Yeah,
I gave you another project, but it was okay. The EP, I think, was his best work. his first EP. Then he went solo. I mean, he went dark, and then he dropped Peak, which was I think is a fire single,
Oh
and
yeah.
then he dropped the album, which was okay. So this is, I guess, is a taster leading back into the solo artist, and hopefully he doesn't miss on the next project. But I do agree because I was like, this is missing something.
That's just how it felt. I mean, I liked
Yeah,
it, but I was like, this almost feels just a little too one sided in being mellow. And I feel like that's where you got to add that up tempo. Like that's what Party knows. Party knows how
yeah,
to do that. Party's like, I'm gonna give you the up tempo that you're gonna vibe out to. It's just not gonna all be mellow. So I think that's that balance where he needs to find.
exactly. Because I was gonna say maybe it could have been like a feature, but then I was like, no, it's just adding that good balance. Because you take your sleeper me, like I'm getting sleepy. This is vibe music. Like it's just like
I
okay,
kind of
this
was
is
getting sleepy.
yeah. I'm
I was
like,
just like,
all right, this is something you just
all
put on,
right,
but just like vibe out and just watch, do something else. But like I think
yeah,
yeah, and I think the structure of the album
mhm,
project could have been rearranged a little bit too
yeah,
to be more
for
engaging.
sure.
But
The sequencing I think was a little
yeah,
it wasn't the strongest. So that's definitely something he needs to work on for the future. Getting to our next review, Navy Blues Ways of Knowing. In his latest album, it was poetic and emotionally profound. There's soulful R&B adjacent production. Sometimes songs are maybe stand out more than some of the lyrics, but there's also a sense of hopefulness and purpose to it. And this was because I heard a lot about this project earlier in the year, and I feel as though he has a lot of talent lyrically, but there is, I think, certain pockets where, like you say, with certain rappers who have a monotone voice. I knew you were
ding.
gonna. I was just like, he did not switch it
It's
up
like Larry
at
June,
all.
bro. He
Yes, Larry
sounds
June,
like Larry
and I like
June.
Larry June, but I feel like this Navy Blue, it almost was. I couldn't overlook it. I couldn't overlook it at
Yes.
some parts, and that's one of the things that stood out to me. Talented guy, talented lyricist, but the voice inflection just
Yeah.
didn't work.
Bro, you're spot on. I think, and I had this discussion with another friend of mine, Javen, because he likes Larry June's music. He was like, "Bro, I think that's just innovative. Sometimes I want to hear a rapper sound the same or be consistent." But me, I like the versatility of it. But I think we give Larry June a pass because he kind of like that's his sound. You sound like Larry June.
Yeah.
We're at a got a rapper. We give a, saying just Larry is Larry. But
He gets
now,
that Alchemist pass because
yeah.
Larry worked
Oh
with the
my
Alchemist for a
goodness,
You're gonna get a pass.
his production was nasty, bro. But I
Yeah,
think for like you said, it's just the voice. It didn't change.
yeah.
Even the beats were amazing.
Oh, for
Again, the
sure.
beats were dope.
Yeah,
But it just he didn't change it. He didn't add to it. He didn't. His voice wasn't an instrument. It was just like it started being nagging at a point. So I didn't get through the album, to be honest with you.
but if I'm honest,
if if I'm honest, no, it's gonna be enough for me, dog. Yeah, it's gonna be enough for me. Love you though, brother.
there's another rapper. There's another rapper that you mentioned. I think his voice is monotone. I think it may have been one, one of the Griselda artists. But I think it's just certain times you sense something like, hey, this guy is really talented lyrically, but it just needs to go up another notch to just like diversify your skill set. Like, do you think certain times managers or even maybe producers what role do you think they play into it? Just like even a producer knowing, like, hey, like this is a beat that works for you, but who do you think can like recommend that to them in their like team to like, hey, like this is something you can work on?
Producer. I think that'd be the closest one to say, "Hey, bro, maybe you could try it this way or whatever." But most managers or A&Rs or whatever on the team try to not to steer them away from what got them to that point.
Yeah,
Maybe
makes
give them some
sense.
pointers here or there, or give them a different. Hey, let's okay, we like this. Let's give it a different song, a different approach to this. But you don't want to take away from what they truly are. And then with rappers, in a sense, with rappers, it doesn't take 5 songs for you to be versatile. You just add 2, 3 songs, keep the full ensemble and ambiance of who you are as a rapper. Like it doesn't take much for you to be like you could drop the beat and be like, ha, and then go back to your monotoneness, bro. It's just that subtle
That easy.
change in the music. Yeah, it's literally that easy, bro. This, the subtle change that keeps the listeners there and
Yeah,
them intrigued and them not being able to like say this song sounds like the last track. And
right.
that's what
It's
this is
repetitive.
what I was talking about with Javen with Larry June. It sounds like his track sounds the same even when the production has changed. And I think that's my biggest takeaway from him and Larry June. I'm trying to get more acclimated with Larry June and trying to get my ear toned, but
He's
it's the
developing a
same.
fan base though, man. He's developing
Oh
a fan
yeah,
base, bro. He's
because
becoming popular.
that old school West Coastness,
It's like that just
the
drive that just that
yeah,
laid back
like
drive music.
even with Blix,
Yeah,
whatever you want his
Blacks, yeah.
name is, he has that West Coast production as well. And then he has a particular sound. I think that's really different. Him and Bino are in the same pocket. And they did a collaboration. I didn't really like the collaboration they did, but they in that pocket that we don't hear anymore. And then
Yeah.
it's getting a new revive, if you will, in the music industry.
And I think that's something because like one of our past guests, Kevin Garcia, he mentioned on one episode he was on about Ben Staples. Like, why
Yeah.
can't Ben Staples be that star? Because I think Ben Staples he's like one of my favorite artists now. He's incredibly talented, but
Yes.
he doesn't he knows the industry and how to become popular, but he knows the pitfalls of it, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to become too popular. Like that's always kind
Yeah.
of his stance. Like I can go there, but I'd rather just stay where I'm at.
He's so funny, man. His interviews are
This
ridiculously
is on
funny.
TikTok.
Yeah, he was talking about you don't like anybody coming out. He's like, why? Do you cook for people? Oh, you so nice, bro. Where I'm from, we don't, Uber Eats don't have my address. So it's just like
That's
him
hilarious.
staying true to himself as well as, but he has versatility
Yes,
throughout.
and
He doesn't,
storytelling.
yeah. So yeah, storytelling, his ability to change his cadence. Like Vince Staples has check those boxes, as we love to say, Wellington. And a lot of rappers, I don't know why they feel like they shouldn't do it. Like if Larry June just switch it up just 3%. I'm not
Get
saying
me
switch
there.
up your whole sound, but you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Switch it up a little bit. And
Yeah,
same for this guy. Just switch it up 3% and watch how
you'll
your
be
fan
there.
base just grow even better. Yeah.
Definitely. And now getting to our next review with Sampha's Only. In this new single, I find Sampha in a buoyant tone and mood. There's also production from El Intro there that features simplistic clicks and he questions his faith and purpose in life. And there was the news recently that Sampha's next album is going to be released in I believe the sixth, maybe the sixth or the 20th of October. But he's coming back, and obviously we're really big Sampha fans, and
Yeah.
he's got just so many great features like Father Time, Too Much
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
Nothing Was the Same. Like he adds that tempo and smoothness in a chorus that
Mm-hmm.
always works. But what did you think about this single and just kind of what you want to hear from his next album?
Oh, it was different. It was because I'm just thinking about his first album and just the up tempo songs that he had on Nender, and he was so experimental on this one. And I love how the production and his voice, it contrasts, but it didn't fight each other. Somehow it fit with his voice,
That's tough to
with
do.
his delivery. It was so, and I love the beat drops, and I think that helped a lot too.
Yeah,
I love the production, how he arranged the song, and it did get repetitive a little bit at the tail end, but I like the song. I think this was definitely not a single song, but you can tell
that was the one thing I was thinking. I was like, I like
this
it,
is
but it's
not a
not a
single
single song.
song. But you could tell it's like right after the song, like how the playlist track list is. I think that springs forward the rest of the album.
Yeah, for sure.
Is because it's like I think it's number 6 or something, and it springs forward. I think it's going to be an interlude or something right before it, and then it just pushes the album forward. But I think this is a nice transition song, not
Definitely.
a not a
Not a
single
single song.
song. No,
Yeah.
no, not at
Um,
all.
but but before we move on, I mean, there's a lot of music dropping tonight. Nas and Hit Boy are dropping their
Hmm.
last album together, Magic 3. Cleo Soul is dropping an album tonight. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we're big Cleo Soul fans. Diddy, for the first time in 13 years, is dropping is dropping an album. I don't know, man. I'm gonna check it out.
Take that, take that, take
But
that.
in terms of the new music, I mean, and there it was announced that Drake and SZA are dropping. He's dropping his single with her tomorrow. Like in terms of all that, we can't. I mean, I just casually said it, but I mean, Drake and SZA
Yeah,
on a track together.
always. Yeah.
It's just like man, that's gonna. I'm really interested to hear how that sounds. But is there one in particular that stands out, or just what are your thoughts on some of these releases?
The SZA and Drake one stands out obviously because
Yes,
it's SZA and
it's the
Drake.
first time he's dropped a single since Scorpion for an album.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
he wants to see the full scope single test. Like, can it,
Is it a single song or is it an album
who better
song?
to do it?
So I'm thinking it's gonna be two ways how this song is constructed. Maybe it's gonna be the one how it was with
Rihanna.
Travis Scott.
Oh,
No. With Travis Scott. No. She can't go in that dance hall reggae pocket. That's not her. It's gonna be just like the Travis Scott feel, or it may be like a Brent Fayez that collab type vibe where
which one
she
would you
sings
prefer?
the Brent Fayez type of vibe.
Yeah,
I think her just singing, not because I didn't like the Travis Scott one. I didn't like that track. That's one of the tracks I didn't like. I just thought it just I don't know.
off his
It didn't
last
feel
album.
right. No. Off her album, he featured on. If I'm not mistaken, I may be thinking about another artist.
Open Arms.
Yes. It was Travis Scott. So it's either that type of style or it's gonna be like a true R&B rap collab type, and I want that more because I know the hook is gonna be
It's gonna be
nasty.
crazy.
And I hope it's that way because you have so many pockets you can go into if you do that.
That's a
Because he
genius way
can,
to start off a single. Just put SZA on. That's really
she
smart.
has a wave.
He always knows what's the wave. He said she just dropped SOS, one of the best albums last year. Everybody's enamored
Still listening
from
to
the
it,
beginning.
singing it.
Just team hook up with her. Yeah.
Now it just makes me wonder who else is on the album.
Well, it is confirmed that Nicki's gonna be on the album too. Which
Yeah, I'm indifferent. Her voice gets on my nerves. I used to be a huge Nicki Minaj fan. That Pink album and everything before that, oh my goodness. Oh my, and then it's just her voice just got on my nerve now.
that's the one thing I was gonna say. Who else would you want to see on this album if you had like a really like dream feature list?
I want Brent back on it. Now that I listen to it, I when I first said it was like a throwaway verse when we reviewed it, I take that back. I think it was heavily constructed. I think it was a
It
nice
was, man.
verse.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was
That song
very
has grown on me.
pinpoint. Yeah. I want Brent to be back on there. I got the Bryson Tiller out of my system because I don't think they could go beyond that one track that we got that he been sitting on for like 5 years that he really finally released and put another thing on there. Yeah, I'm on that. I don't know.
Frank Ocean,
He's
we know.
collab. Yeah, that's a unicorn.
But I'm
I don't
saying
think.
people. It's been rumored. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's been rumored.
I don't know. Tyler Creator. I want him. I
That would
think
be
that'll be a
nice.
dope collab.
Yeah.
It'll have to be a rappy because
Yeah.
Tyler
You're
Creator
right.
can rap his butt off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy got
The
he's
the one rumor that I really want to see true is somebody it was rumor that the Alchemist might have some production on this. I was like, if that would be
there's no
phenomenal. But I
way.
was like, that's too good to be true.
No, they could vibe. I don't think they could vibe, Wellington.
I don't think
Do
so.
you? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
just
don't
a
think
his.
so. Because I mean, like,
His
obviously he did a song off Kendrick's album, the
yeah,
Cry Together, and that fits more into Kendrick's. I don't know if that could fit the same for Drake.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's not Drake. That's not Drake's mo. He
yeah,
doesn't fit in the formula. Alchemist doesn't fit in this formula of you know Houston
yeah.
reggae.
We know he's got a
Yeah,
formula. Yeah, he's got dance hall. Yeah, so
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, so yeah, the Nas one. I'm really
Yeah, I know Nas.
uh
Yeah, we're definitely and that I
pepped
think
up
it's already
for.
out by now. So yeah, I can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. It's
Man,
gonna be
just
some
what
more
a
hip
run he's
hop.
been on, man. I hate to see it be the last one, but all good things come to an end eventually. So they
He
six
has a
albums in three
catalog.
years.
Yeah,
So
6 albums in 3 years,
that's
and all of them
crazy.
been like really solid to fire. There's no duds. He hasn't, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't shot off any duds.
Absolutely
That's insane.
killing it. And then I think and I'm because we always talk about R&B albums that impress us. I do have high expectations for this Cleo Soul album because she just has
Yeah.
a phenomenal voice, and I want to see like
Yeah.
what because Mother was one of my favorite albums of the last 5 years, and I think how she can expand on this is going to be really interesting too.
I'm ready for the concept.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's what I
She
want to
makes
see her
concept
for.
albums. It's always
Yeah.
about a concept. Yeah, definitely. And I'll get into our last review with Watch the Throne throwback. This album was, really a moment when two major titans and faces of hip hop, for years decided to collaborate. That expensive samples, a pair of courses from Frank Ocean, and obviously one of the most famous singles we ever had in Otis. And there's recently been a conversation about, because people have been talking about this on social media, is Watch the Throne a classic or was it just a classic moment? And I mean that time when we really saw them come together, that because like we were Drake was still on the come up, but them coming together on one album, I mean,
was
insane, bro.
Shut the
It
industry
shut
down.
the industry down. Like Jay and Kanye on an album together, it still is a time capsule moment. Even listening back to, I mean, these guys they still were in peak form to me. Still in peak form to me, and they really were locked in. Like looking back at the album, how it sounds today and what it meant then. What are your thoughts on it? And just the legacy of it.
Man, so from the from the cover art to that's when CDs were still, a big thing.
2011.
Yeah, we didn't really have the big streaming services. You had to pay for them on Apple.
Mm-hmm.
But man, just holding that CD in your hand, if you were able to buy it off of iTunes, that was available. But bro, the amount of just, you already know, as a producer, Kanye has been, Kanye's been Jay-Z's producer for a stint. Now that's how he, got into the game, and that's how he got eventually signed by Jay-Z. But man, oh man, they were going punch to punch. I don't know if Kanye got help to write some of his lyrics, because
they were not missing.
Bar for bar, melody for melody, like some of the songs were like, they were plug-ins, but for the most part, that's a nice, well put together album by two legends.
Yeah,
that's how you post a collab.
That's a collab album. That is a collab album. It's so crazy because the energy was still there.
Yes,
it's like they were like, man, we still got something to prove. And they didn't. They really didn't. But obviously, they just, because Jay-Z was coming off of Kingdom Come. Kanye was coming off of albums like Graduation and just his like peak type of albums. But it was just so interesting to like see them kind of in a different sphere. But which, like, out of the two legacies, like, which one do you look at it as like, this is the music I'll revisit more? To me, it's still Jay-Z, but Kanye as a producer, man, you can't deny how good he is, and the fact that he's been around this long.
I go back and revisit Kanye's music more than I revisit Jay-Z's music. And I think if we're talking catalog, I think Kanye, in my opinion, has surpassed Jay-Z as a listenability of music. Bro, you give me Jay-Z's top 3 albums and Kanye's top 3 albums, bro. And if Watch the Throne would not be the same if Kanye West was not on it. Just picture Jay-Z collabing with any other artist. It would not be the same. He's that missing element, produce-wise and artist-wise. It's just different. Kanye was in a pocket that nobody could touch.
At all. Man, he was invincible at that point.
Bro, it was insane amount. And then just his features alone, bro, in that realm as well.
Yeah.
Like he didn't miss. Like, I Like with Chief Keef, 2 Chainz, Birthday. Like, it's so many songs he had in that time frame. And then his albums, bro, was like, drive slow, homie. You never know, homie. Bro, man, Kanye was on. I go back and re-listen to Kanye's music more than I do Jay-Z. But I think without Kanye on Watch the Throne, it would not be as potent and as replayed as it is, from production to just artistry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in terms of like rapper, to me, it's definitely Jay. But in terms of albums,
for sure.
That's the thing. Kanye, just, man, the way he can construct an album is so crazy, bro.
He's a musical genius. Like you said, Jay-Z is obviously the better rapper.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Hey, before you clip this, let me clear it up.
People were going at us last week, but J. Cole didn't fall off. What are you guys talking about? Off season's a masterpiece.
No, nah. Jay-Z is the better rapper, but I
Yeah,
think album wise, I think it's Kanye.
for sure. I'm trying to think back to. Do you have a favorite collab album ever? Is there one that's just an
Uh,
automatic?
Method Man and Redman. I forgot
Oh
the
man,
album. It's with Doc Rottweiler on it. I can't remember it. Obviously, Future and Drake.
what a time!
What a time, bro! It's so many bangers on that album, bro. There's too many. They
Diamonds
did not
dancing, fly
miss,
from the gutter.
bro. 5 days in that album, bro. That's
When he told Zane Lowe that, like in that Views interview, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we just cooked it up in like 5 days." It's like, what?
I didn't want to like it either, bro. I'm like, bro, they don't mix Drake in that film, and then he's just yeah, man. It was that's famously, bro. That's
Yeah,
I mean, Watch the Throne was another one. There's a definitely a good collab.
you
Method
like What a
Man,
Time
Red
better than
Man.
Watch the Throne.
Oh for sure.
Yeah.
Oh for sure. Oh for sure. Every song, bro. Even in the dope of the bushes.
I really feel like I'm in 2015 when I listen to that.
What a time, bro. That's such a name. What a time.
Man,
Music was on one 2015, bro.
for sure.
Because the year before we just got, I'm sorry, we got Forest Hill. And then it was so much music after that, bro. It was such a good
Then
time.
2016,
Oh,
that was great.
Travis. That's when I liked Travis Scott when he did, Don't You Open Up That Window. But anywho, yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
What a Time is like one of my favorites.
definitely. Well, I know I said in the first half, listeners, we're gonna do the Snowpiercer review, but we're gonna do that next week. So, and this is the
Yes.
first time we've told listeners, hey, so like if you haven't seen Snowpiercer, it's on Netflix, free pro. Go watch it. So you guys
You
can
don't
be
have to
ready.
wait for us, right?
You have to wait for us. Well, that wraps it up for tonight. I'm your host, Winter Burns, on my counterpart, Savon Morris. This has been Full Scope. See you later.